CPA stands for Community Preservation Act. It is a source of funding for us to invest in our community that we just don't have access to otherwise. Any community that was willing to put its own skin in the game, was willing to levy its own small tax surcharge on its own people, could get access to this state fund. And the state fund is created whenever anyone goes to the Registry of Deeds. So if you buy property in Holyoke or any community, there's a small fee that you're paying, and that's what goes into that pot of money. So everyone in Holyoke is paying for it. Now, for several years, we were paying for it, but we weren't getting access to it because we hadn't become a CPA community. So we put it on the ballot. It passed overwhelmingly in the community for a 1.5% surcharge. So the three categories are open space and recreation, affordable housing, and historic preservation. Applicants come to us because they have an older building that they want to maintain or another historic resource like the merry-go-round. Came to us and said, we have this beautiful carousel that we have been able to preserve for decades now that is keeping that spirit of Mount Tom alive. There's a lot of people in our community that remember going to Mount Tom. They remember riding on the carousel. My parents remember riding on the carousel. And as a group, they do just fundraising amongst themselves in the community to take care of that resource. And they were able to come to us and say, we have 4 horses that we really badly need to restore. Is this a source of funding that we can use for that? It's not just historic buildings. It can also be an artifact that's important to the city in some key way. And then you have affordable housing and open space and recreation. CPA is new for Holyoke. This is our 5th year. And so the community is still getting to know what the source of funding is and how it can be used. People are still learning who we are and that this source of money even exists. So a lot of the folks who have been able to use this funding so far have been people who run nonprofits, people who are, the director of the Wisteria Hearst Museum. There's a lot of city-owned properties that have been able to access this funding. 70% of our projects so far have been city projects because folks in government understand that this source of funding can be used and know to apply for it. But also because we have a lot of city properties, we have parks, we have land that we wanted to acquire, we have trails we need to develop out, we have buildings that are municipal buildings that need restoration or rehabilitation. And so a lot of our projects so far have been grounded in city projects.